Hi guys, so I picked up a few more fig trees and I wanted to show them to you, but I just want to show you if it's progress, I don't know, in my kitchen, quote unquote. We got new plyboard put in, but since my windows are in, but they had to wait to do the stucco and stuff on the outside, which I'll show you, the guys just boarded up the windows. It looks horrible. Same thing in my craft room around the corner, but that's all gonna come down. We're just waiting for the insurance to finalize what they need to do so that the water damage gets taken care of. But as you can see, there's like things from that, what they just did. And I'll show you my blue figs just a minute. But check this out. Oh my God, I should have showed you guys when they ripped everything out. This wall looked ridiculous. I mean, even the neighbor comes out, he's like, wow, what are you guys doing? They reconstructed this whole thing. So props to people in construction. I've always admired that kind of work because, like, I have no idea. And, you know, whenever we think of anything, we're like, oh my God. I mean, obviously it wasn't cheap. It wasn't as expensive as I would think, though, because they ripped out that whole thing, remade everything, remade the box, that soffit that you see down there and everything. And it looks pretty much just the way it was, right? Look, I mean, this is original, this is new. They still have to paint it, but I'm like blown away. But I guess that's what happens when you do your own like patch job and it looks horrible and people expect everyone's job is gonna like that. This is professional people. 9/11 restoration. They hired obviously other people to come in and do this, but if you're in the San Diego area and something happens to your house, I'm telling you, these guys have been taking care of everything so well. So 9/11 restoration. Not that I get paid by them or anything like that. Okay, so these are my trees that we got, and I already showed you. I had to move this one away because, oh my God, when they pulled all this stuff out, it put all kinds of dust on my poor plants, and I'm like, oh no, because they need to be pollinated and they're dusty and, you know, poor things. So this is a Mexican lime. She's doing great though. This is my pink lemonade lemon. Some kind of tangerine, I forgot the name of it. I can turn and see the sticker, but I don't really feel like it. This is my dwarf Meyer lemon, which has been doing great. She came like this, like without leaves. She hasn't dropped any leaves, but she is dropping some of her blooms, but at the same time, she has way too many blooms, right? Look how many leaves are on here. You need the leaves to soak in, you know, the sun to do what they gotta do to get that energy to your blooms. So I think that's happening just because it can't support this. Like, this is way too many, and I probably should take some of them off, but I hate to do that. So sometimes I'll come out here and I kind of flicker. See? Things fall off. That's just the flower petals, but some of the little bulbs have fallen off, but others are looking great. So, you know, not a lot, but there's new growth. All this pretty stuff is all new. So, you know, I've had them for 2 weeks now. I haven't killed it yet, so that's a good sign. Little kumquat, this is the Nagami kumquat. It already showed up with their little kumquats that were almost ready to go. Some of them we're still waiting for. So the kids have been eating them every day. They eat like one or two because that's all I have every day for them to eat that are ready. This little guy is the Fortuna or something, lucky fruit, Fortunella kumquat, so it's a little bit different. It came all green. Some of them have cracked because we had some rain and I think it was just too much water. Like they probably got watered at Home Depot because this is where this came from. But now look at, there's some new growth in this one too. Oh, so cute. So that's good. And then these guys need to also ripen. So, and they were super dark green. I mean, they were not even close. So these guys are growing and doing what they need to do and ripening, I guess is the word. I also sprayed these guys with some Monterey BT, which keeps bugs and things like that away. So just so you know, it's a organic substance, but you don't want to put it on. Well, that one you can use on everything. There's another one that I got, I forgot the name of it. Oh, Spinosad. And that one will kill honeybees. So like you don't want to put it, and obviously I already have blooms, so I don't want to put it on any of these things because the honeybees or the bees are already coming around. This is that weird little fig I got at Home Depot. Let me show you. So most of my citrus trees I got at Home Depot. I think all of them, except for the Mexican lime. I got that at Green Thumb Nursery in San Marcos where I live. But look at these little guys. I don't know if you can see. They're looking pretty good, but you can also maybe see all that dust. Oh my gosh. So we try to, my husband used a blower. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna blow the things off. So I think it kind of probably messed some of these guys up. I can't see that they would live after that. I mean, unless they had already been, what's the word? Pollinated. You know what I'm saying? If they're already pollinated, maybe they don't need the stickiness that they would have had otherwise, because those things totally got like just covered in dust. It's so bad. I should have thought about that. Anyway, got some spearmint and some mint, yerba buena and whatever they call it, mojito. I don't know why. It's just anyway, mint. And this one's a spearmint, and it's so pretty. And look at that vine. So I'm gonna plant these in the ground because they'll just take off, but I just don't know where to put them yet. And I know they're still doing work here at my house, so I don't want to put them in the ground yet. But this little guy says fig magnolia. If you look up magnolia fig, no one has any information about that. It's like, what is a magnolia fig? So I don't know if, and it's by Vigoro. If you look up online Vigoro, it says, oh, it's owned by Home Depot, but it doesn't give you any information as far as anything. So I'm not sure. I think they just got some kind of fig cuttings just to sell them, and they have no idea what's up. But this one's been doing the best. I mean, she's like taking off as far as her leaves, and she looks like a little plant more than a tree. But I don't see any kind of like fig buds, and there should be. So I think she's still too young though. Obviously, look how tiny the thing is. So let's move on to the figs I just got. So as you can see, these are not in pretty pots. They're just in black pots. These I planted in pretty pots next year for sure, I guess. I'll probably have to uproot them or plant them because they're not the biggest pots, but they're not super small. It might last a year or two, but they're gonna need to go in something bigger, right? But what I wanted to tell you guys is look at these. I just bought these at Ganter Nursery, Ganter in Vista, California. And I only went out there because I had seen on DaveWilson.com, Dave Wilson's the guy, nursery, maybe it's DaveWilsonNursery.com, I don't know, that propagates a lot of these little plants and fruit trees, mostly fruit trees and stuff like that. So at Green Thumb, they only had a certain, like 3 varieties. But at Ganter, they had like 9 of the varieties that Dave Wilson makes of fig. And I was like, oh no, because there's certain ones I wanted to try. I have a lot of purple figs over there, so I was like, I want yellow or green ones or whatever. So this is Peter's honey that everyone loves and says it's awesome. And look at the leaf on this. He looks sad, right? So I've watered him and he didn't get any happier. And their leaves are nice and they're not weak or like falling down. That's just how he looks, apparently. So Peter's honey is a yellowish greenish fig. When I went to ask about them, I'm like, oh, what do you have your fig trees? Because it was kind of in the hills and it was hard to find anyway the place. So I just pulled up right to the office. And she's like, oh, they're still in our greenhouse. But if there's a certain variety you want, I can go get it for you. And I was like, okay. Because I would like to look at the plant myself, but at the same time, I'm not that picky. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm here for a Greenisha. And I was trying to remember the names of the things I wanted to get from her. And I was like, she's like, well, I can give you a list. I said, yeah, let's do that, because I don't remember the other ones. I said, oh, panache for sure, which is like a tiger stripe, whatever fig. And she's like, okay. And then she showed me their list of what they had, and so I chose a few. Some of them, of the varieties, they only had in like a huge 10-gallon tree, which was like $90. And first of all, I don't know if I'm gonna kill these or not, so I'm like, no, it's okay, I'll just get some of these little guys. And so she went and selected them for me, which is fine. When you select a plant or a fig or anything, you always want to have a nice thick trunk. Oopsie. The thickest trunk you can find is what you want. So this one's kind of a small trunk, and it even has a little bit of white around there. It's not rot, but it's there. So they kept these in greenhouses probably over the winter, because in Vista does get a little colder, especially where they were kind of in the mountains. So even though it's not that far from here. So they have a lot of green growth. And so actually when I got it home, and I don't know a lot about plants, but I was like, this is probably not good, because it was really hot. Like all of a sudden they were in a greenhouse doing their own thing, and I brought them out to the heat and the sun, and I mean, it's really sunny already. It's supposed to cool off tomorrow, and possibly rain in a couple days. But I was like, oh, that's not good. So I kind of kept them in the back towards the shade back there. And then I kind of brought them out here after a couple days. So, because that is kind of jarring, right, for a plant. But what's kind of cool is that they are so big. So when I look at them, each little leaf does have a fig bud coming in behind it. Oh, let me tell you about this panache or tiger fig. It's so cute because look at the stripes. I don't know if you can see it. The variegation on that is on the fig, but it's also on the stem, and I think that is adorable. It's so cute. Like maybe you can even see here, it's like green and yellow. And this little guy, I'm telling you, he just looks sad, but he's not. So when I look, there's all kinds of buds ready to come out. This one, that one's ready. And you can trim those away if you don't want them to be that low, because you want a tree and not so much of a bush. But I don't know what I'm gonna do this year, because they're still pretty young. These trees are probably a couple years old. And then this little guy is, oh, my green Isha. Okay, so there's the green Isha, and then like I said, the panache here. But it makes me, I'm like, these are so pretty. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hope how this is. Look at this. See how light green that is? That's kind of weird, right? Ooh, I hope that's not a problem. I'm telling you, with these leaf patterns, like what's funny was I was bringing them in, I'm like, hey, I got close to this one. Did this guy? No. Which one is it? Yeah, I think it's this guy. The panache, he has a scent. Like, I can smell it. Like, if you were just sitting here and you smelled like plant life, you know what I'm saying? It smells really nice. But this one and this guy don't have a scent at all, so I thought that was kind of interesting. These were 35 bucks. Big old huge tree, looking good, all that stuff. Look at him. And I bought these twigs at Home Depot and at the Green Thumb Nursery for 29 bucks. So I'm like, I think I jumped ahead of myself. I should have waited to get them. Or I should have waited to see, because they did have Violet de Bordeaux at the Ganter Nursery. I just didn't know. So clearly these guys kept them out, which might be better for the plant, right? Some of them do need some chill hours. They kept them out, and then, you know, they're just going to grow as they do. And the other guys kept them in a greenhouse. Look at this little fig. Isn't that adorable? Oh, it's focusing on the grass and not the fig. Hello, right here. This camera. Let me try to get it to focus over here. No? All right, well, you saw the grass real well. But look how cute. And it's gotten so much bigger. When I first got it, it was like a little bud, and I can just see that it was a fig, but this is the blackjack. One other thing I did real quickly is that sometimes when they graft things, they cut off parts that they don't want to grow, and then it kind of dies back. And the little soft spongy center, which I forget what it's called, kind of dies back too. And then you don't want animals and other things getting in there and eating up your tree because they think it's a dead bark or whatever. So I had seen a video where a guy just used literally just wax, candle wax, because I don't have like the farmer stuff they use to paint or color this in. And maybe this isn't the smartest idea, but I mean, that's what he did, and he has fine trees. So I was burning a candle today. I'm like, oh, that's right, I need to go put some candle wax on here. So I just used like a disposable spoon and kind of just enough to cover it, not fill it in, but just cover this part so that nothing gets in there, and it's, you know, a waterproof seal. So I did that for that guy. I did it for this guy right down there. I did it for this guy. So like I said, I'm not the greenest thumb. I don't know everything. Like this one had a really tall one too that they just let cut there. I don't know why. And I was thinking I should leave it in case maybe it'll start growing more, but it was really dead. Like, it was just, I thought it was bamboo. I thought maybe they had this stick here and it grew into it. That's what it looked like. So as you can see, the little pieces I cut off, I just threw them in here. I mean, they were completely dry and just weird, so I just cut it off. And then I colored or filled it in. But I mean, they're looking good. Little Peter Sunny's so adorable. He's a little shorty. I just can't wait to see more like fig on these and see if I get any Breba, which is the first crop that comes in. This guy's gotten so much bigger. I don't know if you remember from the last video. I mean, his leaves are like ridiculous and really soft and pretty. This one had an ugly leaf, and I'm afraid that, I hope that's not some kind of rust that's gonna spread to the other guys, because he came with this leaf. The leaf is pretty ugly, and my other ones are just like beautiful and pristine little figs. Violet de Bordeaux, she is starting to take off. Look at that little, hopefully you can see that her little leaves are starting to open up, and so I'm really excited about that because she's my fancy girl. This guy's not doing anything. Like, this is a Cadota. He had this same little leaf when I picked him up. Ugh. Let me see. And it still looks the same. I don't know if you can... It's just like... He'll get there, I guess, but he's still kind of sleeping, I guess. And they look like... He looks old. That's what's funny about this one. It looks like ancient. Like the wood itself looks old. And then this guy is the improved brown turkey, which I never wanted to buy because I like brown turkey. But everyone says they're so good, so might as well try it. And look at that, he's opened up completely, or he's starting to, but this little head looked just like this one, you know, a couple days ago. So hopefully this guy will wake up soon. I don't know what's going on with him. He has a really thick trunk. I suppose that's what you want, but look at that. But it also looks very damaged, like sun damaged. So maybe he's, hopefully he'll be okay. But yeah, so this one's opening up. Sorry, my camera. And even the next bud underneath there is opening up. So, you know what? We're having 75, 80 degree days out here. So hopefully that's all waking these guys up. And hopefully I won't drop any more of my lemons and, you know, wish me luck. But I will keep you guys updated. I was going to repot these, but you know what? At $20 and $30 a pot, all of these guys, all the ones I bought over there, I thought, you know what? For right now, let's just give it a little rest, especially since I don't know what's going on with this house. I have a lot of other things that we need to buy. To be honest, those geraniums were already here when I got here, and I'm like, oh, let's rip those out and put these guys in those pots, because why not? Look how big those pots are. And geraniums, you can plant those anywhere. They'll just take off. They don't need to be in those pots. So that might be a way of getting these guys potted up without having to go spend more money on more beautiful pots, all right, instead of these black pots. But anyway, Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any tips about figs, let me know, because I would love to know it. But look how different the little leaves are. Oh, you know, I just saw a video where a guy was saying, I don't know, these are weird, because look how this one's just kind of rounded, like a spade. But now it's becoming more three-lobed up here. This is just a little baby one, I guess that's why. So they change as they're growing out. And there are some really small ones too, like this tiny little thing. I feel like it's gonna stay that way, you know? Like a little run, because look, this one already has 3 lobes. I don't know what's going on. Really weird. Maybe well, look at that. Even this one has like a weird one and then a 3-lobe one. Is that how this tree is? Maybe that's how this tree is. But he was wondering that the same thing, you know? Look at this one. Look how sharp it looks compared to like this guy who's like kind of rounded at the edges. Or does that have to do with Breba and New? I have no idea, guys. Anyway, it's fun. It's fun to see the differences between these guys. But just real quick before you know, as I'm saying that, look how skinny and weird these ones are. Not the prettiest leaf. It's so weird though, right? Look how skinny and long that is in the middle there, and then like this guy has 5 lobes. So pretty. All right, thanks for watching. That was the Black Mission, in case I didn't mention it. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.